Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, O Lord, our rock and our Redeemer. Amen. Good morning. At the risk of sounding irreverent on this happy morning that has turned so solemn, I must admit that while preparing the sermon for you, I have had pie on my mind. Not because I gave it up for Lent and am dreaming of lemon meringue on Easter Sunday, but actually I've been thinking of pie as a metaphor. We all know the concept of a fixed pie. You have known since you were a child, if you take too big of a slice, the next person gets an undersized piece, and that's not fair or polite. But that's still not where my heart has been. I've been thinking of how we are all fixed pies because we are all finite created beings. Our pie pans can only hold so much. All cooks know this. If something is going to be added in, something else has got to be taken out first. Otherwise, in the oven, it bubbles over, and you have burnt goop on the bottom of your oven for the next 5 years. But what does pie have to do with the seriousness of Holy Week? So ahead of us is a week of liturgy. We are inviting you to join us and come to church every day. Not because our liturgies are performances for you to enjoy and consume. Holy Week is actually something that you enter, and it consumes you. While this may sound intimidating, it shouldn't be, because we have all been working up to this all through Lent. You're not just plopped down into Holy Week. You have been prepared. And I hope this is true for you, because if you haven't, what's coming can be a lot. It would be easy to turn away and just bunny hop to Easter morning. And no one would fault you for that. But I hope that you don't turn away, because there is something really big that comes at the end, and there's only one pathway there. So to explain, I want to introduce words from the 104th Archbishop of Canterbury, Rowan Williams. He is a renowned theologian, author, and poet, a Welshman who is gifted with using metaphors. Although, as far as I know, he doesn't talk about pie. That might just be me. So, Rowan Williams does say that Holy Week is a time to drop the locks on your vault. So, in a Palm Sunday sermon many years ago, he spoke about how archaeologists believe there was a huge storage vault under the temple, like an underground car park. And it's possible that's where the money changers and the sacrificial animal sellers would do their business. Dark and noisy, it was an essential part of the temple system. And as you know, that system enraged Jesus. But the people there were not evil, and nor were their businesses. Now, the temple itself was a beacon on the hill, visible for miles, a symbol of God's openness and invitation. But the people first had to go through these TSA-like lines in the vault before they could emerge up into this promise of grace. The temple experience became more about human action than God's action. And know that this scene is indeed historical, but it is also about us. We too have a vault inside of us filled with human action that bogs us down from ascending to the promise of grace. So just like under the Temple of Jerusalem, your vault, I bet, is a busy place. Nothing wicked, of course. Many things are happening in the name of God. I know that's true for me. But lots of goings and doings, along with elements of control, doubt, fear, and certainly pain. kept in the basement of your heart. It's all very neat and orderly and under lock and key. Just like 2,000 years ago, though, Jesus would like to be let in there to do some rearranging. Take some pieces up to that trash heap called Golgotha along with him. But here's the thing. Because you have been created in God's image, he's not going to do that without your agreement. That's why in the Gospels, he is always asking the question, what do you want? As in now. What do you want right now? He needs to hear you say it, for you play an active role in your resurrection on Easter. Our many liturgies of this week are for just this. In the words of Rowan Williams, so that we may live before God anchored both in our history and in his, anchored on the cross. We cannot bunny hop around it. As a fixed pie beings, we only have space for so much. And so that leaves the question of Lent and Holy Week to be, what in us wants to be reborn? What can we let go of to make space for that? And what will go to Calvary, publicly and unprotected, just like Jesus? And then what will come alive 3 days later? This is our week. This is the week that counts. The map is in your hand. Do you have the courage to enter the dark and noisy vault of Holy Week? Now, I know 3 things that makes me think that you do. Number 1, you are baptized or soon will be. Therefore, you have the capacity to do the journey of Holy Week. Don't doubt that. Number 2, you don't enter alone. With this church, never alone. Come to church. You can see that this is not a hunky-dory lemon meringue story, is it? It's very serious. What happened 2,000 years ago was an historical event, but it is also a map of our lives that we run over and over. Daniel Berrigan was a contemporary Jesuit priest who very bluntly wrote, "If you want to follow Jesus, you better look good on wood." The map says that this is the week that we try once again to open our vaults for Jesus and to send things to the cross to make way for the new. Now, I did say that there are 3 reasons that I know you have what it takes to enter Holy Week. You have the capacity through baptism. You have the courage through the filial love of your church family that walks with you. And the 3rd reason that gives you courage to do what you already have the capacity to do can be found in the 1st letter of John. There is no fear in love, because love casts out all fear. We can go because we know it is all a love story. And God's unconditional, self-sacrificial, agape love never fails. So for the sake of that love, drop the locks on your vault. Don't hop off, but remain with him this week. Stay awake. Walk up the hill. Be the witness and the one. You are looking at a historical event and in a mirror. As a Christian, it's you up there too. And it's also you who gets the greatest gift of all, the promise of grace and the fullness of new life as God intends for you. Amen.